I recently came across this video by Justin Peters' ministry, 250,000 followers here on YouTube and 250,000 deceived followers because he only gives partial truth, and I have no doubt whatsoever it's by design. Just take a look here at the background. You see all these books on the bookshelf, and make no mistake about it, by design, this is to equate intelligence with the speaker. You must be well read because you have all these books. That's what it comes down to. And of course, you see the fake phony globe in the back. You see Jupiter. And take a look here as well. A little bit to the left. What is this here? Picture of him and his spouse. What do you have here? First I thought it was Jesus, but this is him. He's basically telling you all he's just a puppet. This little muppet against the wall here. I'm not sure what this is. Some kind of beer can or something. Not quite sure. Now let's take a listen to Justin Peters and his ridiculous claims of us living on a ball.
Want to easily and irrefutably debunk the flat earth theory simply by using this picture that I took from my own iPhone? I'm going to show you how to do it. Welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Justin Peters. I hope that this finds you and your family doing well today. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Yes, the flat earth theory is a thing. It has a surprisingly large following, and many flat earthers are Christians, and I believe that they are, many of them, not all of them, but many of them are well-intentioned Christians who erroneously believe that the Bible teaches the earth is flat. It does not.
Let's see what the Bible actually says. Let's take a look here at Psalms specifically with all these Bible verses where it states here, He has fixed the earth firm, immovable. Of course, according to science, earth is spinning, orbiting the sun, and traveling through this so-called universe at astronomical speeds. And this all has to do with the Satanic Masonic concept of duality. Whatever the Bible says, science is going to tell us the exact opposite. Examples as shown here. Earth before sun, sun before earth. Oceans before land, land before oceans. Light before sun, sun before light. Land plants first, marine life first. So I can keep going on and on. You can read this yourself, pause the video. The whole point is how they teach on the opposites. So just like I shown previously, with the Bible says earth being stationary, of course it's going to be the exact opposite. How Earth is supposedly spinning and moving at tremendous speeds. This, of course, all has to do with, again, Satanic Freemasonry. And if anybody has any doubts about this Satanic system that we live in this world, this very deceived world, just take a look here at Aleister Crowley and the Law of Reversal. As I've shown many times in the past, the concept of learning how to write backwards, walk backwards, just like Michael Jackson's backslide, speaking backwards, reading backwards, like in the Satanic Church, how they say the Lord's Prayer backwards. Instead of saying, I am He, they say, E am I. I've showed this in the past, but I think it's very important to hammer this point. This world of opposites, this world of duality. People understand this, they'll get it, they'll understand how these people work that run this world through deception. It's very plain to see, but people need to understand this. Again, if they tell us that we live on a globe that's spinning and zipping through space, it's clearly the exact opposite. And right here in print from the Bible verses, as I shown earlier. Now let's get back here to Justin Peters once again, pushing the satanic globe model.
For some Christians who hold to the flat earth theory, they are bringing unnecessary ridicule upon Christianity in general and the Bible specifically. And I want to show you how to debunk the flat earth theory just by this photograph that I took from my iPhone.
And this is a common theme with the globers. Look up at this guy to try to prove the ridiculous globe model. It's just like you see with these two here, trying to determine if the floor is level by looking up. It makes no sense whatsoever to look at intangibles, things in the sky, to prove your ridiculous ball earth, and it's a desperation tactic used by globers.
So yes, I do believe that the Earth and all the other planets in our sun are spheres. Now the Earth is not technically a perfect sphere. It's an oblate spheroid because the Earth at the equator, the circumference of the equator is a little bit greater than the circumference of the Earth going this way, pole to pole.
So basically, he's just repeating what Neil deGrasse Tyson says. No science behind it, nothing measurable, just regurgitating, once again, what Neil deGrasse Tyson said. That's not science repeating things. Let's continue.
That's because of the gravitational pull on the Earth from the sun. A little interesting fact, by the way, I learned this 12 or so years ago. I was preaching in Ecuador. Mount Chimborazo in Ecuador is the tallest mountain on Earth if you measure from the exact center of the Earth.
So, no one's been to the center of the Earth, supposed center of the Earth, with the globe model. The furthest they supposedly went down with the drill is 7.5 miles. That's it. So, this nonsense about it being a fact is absolute garbage. That's all we're getting from this individual is garbage. Let's continue.
It's not Mount Everest, it's Mount Chimborazo in Ecuador. It's actually about almost 7,000 feet further from the center of the Earth to the top of Mount Chimborazo than it is from the center of the Earth to the top of Mount Everest because of that bulge around our middle, the Earth's middle. So interesting little tidbit there. So next time if you're on Jeopardy and that comes up, that's the answer. So anyway, so the flat Earth theory is a thing, unfortunately. Basically, this is what the flat Earth model looks like. So we are living, according to the flat earthers, we are living on a giant manhole cover. And the center of the Earth is the North Pole, and Antarctica makes the perimeter of the Earth. And you might be wondering, well, can't people go to the edge of it? Well, flat earthers say no, nobody can go to the edge of the Earth because the military is down there, and if you get close to those ice walls, then the military will shoot you.
That's Wimpy Weiss. That's David Weiss talk. That's one individual that said that. So again, you're strawmanning the majority of flat earthers. Please don't bring up fake Wimpy Weiss when it comes to flat Earth. Let's continue on.
And so nobody's actually traversed Antarctica or been to this. They say the South Pole doesn't even exist, which is just lunacy. But I want to give you a very easy, simple way to debunk the flat Earth. So this is the basic model. Now here I've got another picture of an image of it. So we are on this giant manhole cover. Now there's the sun, and I drew some little happy little clouds, puffy little white little happy little clouds there. Now all flat earthers, all of them, will say that both the sun and the moon are above the clouds.
Just more show tactics. Not every single flat earther has stated that. And definitely this puppet once again showing his true colors.
Now they don't have a consensus on exactly how far up the sun is. I've seen estimates anywhere from about 30 miles, believe it or not. Some of them actually say that, 30 miles, up to somewhere around 3,000 miles up above the ground here, on top of our manhole cover. So the sun is up there, but whether it's 30 miles or 3,000 miles, both the sun and the moon are above the clouds. So if that is true, there is no possible way for the sun ever to illuminate the underside of the clouds. Does that make sense? Now, flat earthers will say, well, the sun just appears to set because it gets further away from us, and from our vantage point, it looks like the sun is going down. But dear friends, according to the flat earth model, the sun is always, always, always above the clouds. It has to be. It is above the clouds.
Again, not every flat earther believes that. There's videos out there, but again, we're talking about intangibles. And again, he's focusing on things in the sky. And notice how he doesn't talk about water and how water always finds its levels. Physics, basic physics on how water operates. The globe is impossible. Let's continue on.
So there's no possible way for the sun's rays ever to come up from underneath the clouds and illuminate the underside of the clouds. All of us have seen this. We've all seen sunsets, right? And the underneath side of the clouds is illumined by the sun's rays. But if the sun is on top of the clouds, there is no scenario for the sun's rays to get underneath the clouds and illuminate the underbelly of those clouds.
Okay, let's take a look at this footage of the so-called sunset. The sun doesn't actually set, but due to perspective, you can see how the light is above on the clouds here, not underneath, but at the very top. Again, all about perspective. Taking a look at this footage, and you see the sun so-called setting. One thing I want to point out regarding the so-called sunset, once again, the sun doesn't actually set. It's just like these telephone poles. The one closest looks the tallest, but as you go down along the line, the one furthest looks shorter. It's not because of a curve of the earth. It's because of perspective. Just like you see here, exactly the same thing. The sun does not actually set. It's just perspective. Just like I've shown here with this footage as well, where the sun comes back over the so-called horizon and it comes into full view. Also, look at the clouds as well.
So the light has to be coming up from underneath the clouds to get back down to us. That is only possible on a round earth.
Obviously not, like I pointed out, is due to perspective. And he's intentionally misleading people. Again, 250,000 followers being misled by this false teacher.
Now here's a couple of more dramatic pictures. I did not take these photos, but this is Mount Rainier in Washington State. There's several pictures of this. You can see, you can Google images, easy. So you see the shadow that is coming from Mount Rainier, and it is beautiful pictures, right? And so the shadow of Mount Rainier is being cast on the underneath side of the clouds. That's because the sun's rays are coming. They're illuminating the underneath side of the clouds and also catching the top of Mount Rainier and casting that shadow on the same side, the underneath side of those clouds.
And what he's stating here is just another example of perspective in play.
That is not possible on a flat earth. No matter how, if you're looking at a flat earth model, no matter how far away the sun may move away from you, it always remains way above the clouds, way above. So I hope this is helpful for you, dear friends. I'm not a scientist. I've got a little side interest in astronomy, but open and shut case. The flat earth model cannot account for this.
Again, notice how he doesn't bring up water. And he talks about the Bible, saying how the Bible is basically not a flat earth book. Again, when it comes to water, where it states here in Job 26:10, he hath compassed the waters with bounds until the day and night come to an end. He doesn't bring this up. When it comes down to as well to this whole world life system, as you see here from 1 Corinthians 3:18 to 19, stop deceiving yourselves. If you think you are wise by this world's standards, you need to become a fool to be truly wise, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness to God.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. and the evening and the morning of the second day. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that that was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens, in the firmament of the heavens, in the firmament of the heavens, in the firmament of the heavens. Then spake Joshua to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day. Fear before him all the earth. The world also shall be stable, that it be not moved. The Lord reigneth, he is clothed with majesty. The Lord is clothed with strength, wherewith he hath girded himself. The world also is established, that it cannot be moved. Say among the heathen that the Lord reigneth. The world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. He shall judge the people righteously. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. For he looketh to the ends of the earth, and seeth under the whole heaven.
John chapter 9, verse 25. Whereas once I was blind, now I can see. Now I can see. Now I can see.